Welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we are not making soap. I just wanted to say Happy New Year's to everybody and all my subscribers. Thank you so much. I just really appreciate you. I love making YouTube videos, and the fact that you guys watch them, take time out of your busy days to watch, just blesses my heart, and I hope my videos are a blessing to you. I'm so excited about 2025, and I had a few things on my mind, some Q&A type things, and something really cute to show you. So that's what this video is about. We're not going to make anything today. There's no recipe or anything. So if you're looking for that, I've got a whole bunch of other videos to watch and more coming in the future. But today it's just going to be a simple chatty type video. So I'm glad you're here, and let's dive into it. Well, the first thing is I got a little microphone system. My kids watch my videos, and my son was telling me that my audio was a definite weak point. And so for Christmas, he bought me this little audio setup. So I'm hoping the sound in my videos will be a little better going into this new year. I have a lot of background noise in my studio. I have a dehumidifier that kind of rumbles, and my water system sort of makes random noises, plumbing type noises. So there's a lot of background noise in my past videos. So I'm hoping this microphone system will settle all that, and I'm loving it so far. I've filmed a video already and edited it, and I did notice a difference. So I hope you all notice a difference too with my new miking system. And I'll leave a link for this one that he got me. I'm loving it because if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know I am technology challenged. And this was really easy to set up. So 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Connor. I appreciate you so much, love. And so better audio in 2025. That's 1 plus. All right. And then on a sweet personal note, and I say sweet because I have so much love in my heart. My big brother, the oldest of my 2 brothers, passed away this last year. Miss him terribly. He was 1 month short of his 70th birthday. Big Jim. He was a big man. He was heavy set. He was 6'4" and just a very sweet, gentle giant is what he was. But he loved my soap. It was just tickled me. He loved to watch my videos, and he loved my soap. And he had, when they went in to clean out his room and his area, they found this under his sink. These are some of my original bars. These are over 20 years old. Yes, that's how long I've been making soap. I'm 58 at the time of filming this. And this is one of my daughters. This is another one, my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter. And this is how I labeled my soaps in my first farmer's market. And they're pretty shriveled up looking, but at the end of this video, we're going to go down and unwrap one of these and do a lather test. And I will show you what 20-year-old homemade soap lathers like. Let's give it a try. And then my labels on the back, they have a little water damage, but it's got the ingredients on there. And this one is Sunrise Swirl. And I actually remember making this. I colored it with turmeric powder, which turns to a beautiful orange in cold processed soap. So Sunrise Swirl and chamomile tea. And I had infused my water with chamomile tea. And you can see it's discolored. These are not aesthetically beautiful, but I can almost guarantee they're going to be wonderful. They're going to lather great. But so they're humble beginnings. I loved it. And I love that he kept these and continued to use my soap over the years that I made them. And it's a sweet memory. And also they found this is my mother's wedding band. And she had diabetes and had some swelling in her body towards the end, and it didn't fit her anymore. And she gave it to me, and I've been wearing it. And I said, I want Dad's wedding band. He had passed a long time ago when I was pregnant with my first daughter. He passed away. My brother Jim had this wedding band, and he had lost it. And I'm like, okay, Jim, well, if you ever find it, pass it on. So as they were cleaning through his things, they found my father's wedding band too. So I have both of them, and they have engraving on the inside and very sentimental. So those are what I wear on my thumb. I don't know why, but I just love having them there. It makes sweet memories for me. So I remember my dad and my brother Jim, who passed this on to me. So this is going to be fun. At the end of the video, we'll unwrap one of those, just a little sweet memory. This holiday season has been a little nostalgic at our house and a lot of grateful. I did another Q&A video about 2 years ago. My husband has had some really intense health issues. He is a former fighter pilot, FA-18s from the Marine Corps, and he was a triathlete and a marathon runner. And I mean, the picture of fitness, that was my sweet man. And he got a very rare endocrine disease. Anyway, long story short, 20 years later, he has advanced cardiovascular disease. This last year, my husband had a quadruple bypass surgery, which was intense, and he handled it like a champ. 2 of the bypasses failed. And so we've done procedures, stenting in the heart and everything. And he is my hero. My husband is my hero. He gets up every morning with a grateful, joyful heart. We have just learned to be thankful for every day. So thankful. We go on a 3-mile walk every morning. We get up at 6 in the morning, go for our walk, get our steps in. So he's doing wonderful. He did also have cancer a couple of years ago, the last video I did. This man has been through the ringer and he is still filled with joy. He loves his job. He loves life. He loves me. I'm so grateful. And so, yeah, this year has been intense. And making the videos, communicating with all you guys has really been a point of joy for me. So I want to thank you again for being part of the Ellen Ruth squad. I just really appreciate you guys. I feel like I know you, even though I'm talking to a camera, but in the comments and on Instagram and on YouTube, I feel like you guys are on my team and I'm just so thankful. So that is a little personal stuff. Let's get on to some soapy questions. Okay, the first soapy question I get the most, my most frequently asked question is when somebody sees a recipe that I've provided and they'll say, well, what can I sub for this oil or that oil? Like for instance, when I do a lard or a tallow and they want a vegan recipe. Well, here's the thing about cold process soap and hot process. If you change any of the oils in a soap recipe, you now have a new recipe. That's how you formulate a recipe. So the people that are asking, first of all, congratulations, you're now entering the formulator zone. But what I can say is I can't give you a substitute for an oil. What I can tell you is if you substitute an oil in a cold process or hot process recipe, you now have a new recipe and you need to run all your numbers through Soap Calculator because not every oil has the same saponification value. And that's SAP is the acronym you'll see often, just capital S, capital A, capital P. SAP means saponification value, and that is how much sodium hydroxide does it take to convert that oil into soap. And each oil has a different one. Some are very similar where you could swap them out, but I don't ever want to make that recommendation because if somebody swapped a different oil that wasn't close, it will change your lye ratio. I get asked that a lot. I'll give you the same answer every time. If you change an oil, it's a new recipe. You have to run it through Soap Calc. And each oil brings something different to the table. Coconut oil is your lathering oil. When you have a high coconut oil, you're going to get a lather in your soap, which is awesome. Olive oil is a conditioning oil. It's humectant. It's soft. It's a low lather. It's not going to bring a lot of bubbles. It's going to bring a great skin benefit. And so you balance back and forth. And so saying to swap this oil for that oil is going to give you different results and different saponification values. So that is my most frequently asked questions. And along with that though, I want to encourage you, if you are a maker, meaning you found recipes either through a book or a YouTube channel or, a website, and you're making those, you're a maker. If you start changing those recipes, you're now a formulator, and that's awesome. That is a fun place to be, learning the different properties and how to formulate your own things. That's what I did. I started with recipes and was a maker. When I made these little bars, I was a maker. I just followed recipes and was careful with my lye and made my soap. And then I started tweaking them. Oh, what would it be like if I did more of this? And I started playing around with soap calculators. And then I became a formulator. It's the same with lotions. When you start playing around with what each oil and what each thing brings to the table, you are now a formulator. And I think that is a very exciting place to be as an artist, as a maker. Entering the formulation world is amazing, and I'm proud of you. If you're doing that, if you're formulating, good for you. It's awesome. And if you're just here to watch for entertainment's sake, Thank you so much. I love that too. Most of my family, nobody else makes soap. They just watch because they get a kick out of it, or if I've mentioned something that they find funny, you know. So I think a lot of the people that watch my videos aren't actually even makers. And I think that's awesome. I just appreciate you taking time to be with me if you find it entertaining. So that actually brings me to a comment. I won't screenshot it, but I wanted to say that starting this last year in 2024, I quit retailing soap and products. I do not sell any products any longer. Yes, I still have soap insurance because I give my products away. I donate them or give them as gifts. And if anybody had a reaction or whatever, I just think if you're a maker and you're sharing your products, having good insurance is very important. I will leave a link down below for the type of insurance that I have, but there are many out there. You have lots of options. I think Brambleberry has a great article on different insurance things, modern soap making. They have good articles on these deeper subjects. So I'll let you refer to them for more. I'll show you what I'm using, but I do still have insurance, but I don't sell products anymore. So starting in 2024, I had really prayed and thought about how I wanted to go forward with my channel because I definitely wanted to keep videoing. And I decided to start sharing more and more up until 2024. So I started the channel in 2019, I think. Maybe, yeah, 2019. I'll have to go back and look to be specific, but 2019, I shared a few recipes, but my core recipe, Ellen Ruth soap, that took me 15 years to develop with formulation and find the balance that I like, that just fit well for me. I have not shared that recipe yet. And I used it a lot earlier when I was making my big, large molds of soap and retailing. I was using my core recipe. Well, starting in 24, when I quit selling, I'm like, I really want to share more and encourage the maker, the beginner maker, the advanced maker. Let's do it together. So I started sharing more and more. Well, some of you have just started recently found me. My channel is growing and I love it. Thank you. But you're new to my channel. And so when you go back and look at an older video, I've had a couple people get their feathers ruffled when they're like, there's no recipe, with a frowny face. Where's the recipe? And I have to remind them, I don't share all the recipes and I don't share that particular recipe yet. I saved my key recipes for a goal. When I hit 100,000 on YouTube here, I shared one of my recipes that I hadn't shared up to that point. So I do share a ton of recipes now. Most of my videos will have them, not all, but most, because I love that part. I love the teaching, I love the sharing. But if you see my older videos, there are lots of videos that don't have a recipe. And please don't be offended if I don't share every single little thing. But yeah, this one woman, she's like, was not happy and said a few unkind things, and that happens on YouTube, very rarely on my channel. Also, you guys are wonderful. Most of you guys that comment are so sweet or helpful. You give great information. I've gotten tips that have really been a blessing. So yeah, that's good, but a few. So just a word to the recipe sharing. In 2024, my whole channel format and my sort of sharing theology, if you will, changed, and I share a lot more now. So if you see older videos, they're a little bit different. And that's why, because I used to sell retail, now I don't. So yeah, I can't think if there's anything more on that I want to say. So my core Ellen Ruth soap recipe, I am going to share that at some point. And I was thinking, you know, I like milestones and I like markers and goals. I was thinking 200,000. If I hit 200,000, I will share the Ellen Ruth soap core, my favorite, the one that I love the best, my recipe. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's get there together. When we hit 200K, I'll share the ERS recipe that I like probably the best. It's my default recipe. All that being said, I love all of the soap recipes that I share. I have never shared a recipe with you guys that I don't love, so please know that. If I'm sharing, it means that it's already been tested and I already like it. So I promise not to pass on anything that's a fizzle, or if it is, I will warn you. I'll have a warning. This is a fail. And with my restructured 2024 business, just doing YouTube and Instagram and making smaller batches, I have refigured my soap studio and I have promised you guys a tour, and I haven't done one yet. And I don't know. It's just my lack of confidence. My studio is not spectacular. It's not fancy. It's really pretty basic. So I will this year, 2025, my resolution is I will do a studio tour for you all. And even though it's underwhelming, it will come. I promise. Okay. Last time I did a Q&A, I promised a tour. I didn't give a date though, but all right, I'm telling you, holding myself accountable, 2025, I will flip the camera around and just show you my setup. And maybe it'll inspire somebody because it's not fancy. It's pretty basic. And so anybody can have a studio. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a studio. My kitchen was my soap studio for a decade or more. So I love kitchen soap making, by the way. I think it's fabulous. So with locations and studio and all that, I am up in my living room, and this afternoon I'm going to take down all my Christmas decorations because it's time to move on and get ready for 2025. I just want to thank you again for being part of the Ellen Ruth squad. I love all of you guys for taking the time to be with me. So my question for you all is, what do you want to see in 2025? What would you like me to see? Do you like Q&As? If you do, what questions would you want me to cover? I'm happy to cover. I'm pretty easygoing. I'll cover anything. I'm not shy about topics. And what are your goals for 2025? Do you have business goals, personal goals? I don't like resolutions per se, but I love goal setting all year round. So I watched a Mel Robbins. She's on YouTube. If you don't, she's huge, famous. If you don't know who she is, she's pretty famous, motivational one. But she was talking about fall, like in September, being a really great time to sort of reset before you get into the holiday season. And then, of course, the new year is a time to kind of reset, reflect. What can I do better? Where do I need to ease back? Where do I need to push forward? All that. I love all that stuff. So if you have something you want to share with us in the comments down below, please do. I read all of my comments on YouTube. Up to this date, I have been able to keep up with them all. So if you write something, I'm going to read it. I don't always have time to respond. I'll give it a heart, a thumbs up, I'll acknowledge it if I have time, but I read all the comments, and I would love to see what you guys are up to for 2025. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I remember when 2000 rolled around. Anyway, I can't believe it's 2025. And I want to hear what your goals are for the year and what you would like to see on my channel. I would love to hear about that. So again, I wish you all a very happy new year. Blessings to you and yours. And thank you for joining me. I didn't forget. We're going to go down and do a lather test. I did not forget. All right, let's go lather up some really old soap. All right, we are down in my studio now for the unwrapping of one of these. Which one should I do? Before I unwrap, I wanted to talk about the wrapping. You can see it's like a cellophane type, and I just taped it. I bought this back in the day, 20 years ago. You could buy sheets of soap wrapping, and they have, I don't know if you can see, they have little holes punched in them so the soap could continue to breathe, which is why these have kind of shrunk, and they're pretty hard still. Let's do this one, our sunrise swirl. This right here is my oldest baby, my oldest daughter, Devin. Hi, Devin, I love you. This is my baby. I have two girls on, the oldest and the youngest are girls, and I got two boys in the middle. This is Lauren, but we'll do Devin soap today. Sunrise swirl. Yeah, let's do it. This is gonna be interesting. All right, so I'll show you the paper when I unwrap here. And again, I used to just, I print my labels at home. I just always have on the cheapest printer I could, get my hands on, a Canon printer. And so all this was just printed on just, inexpensive little labels that I got. So oh wow, look at that soap. So here is what the sheet looked like. And I don't know if you can see the holes there. There's a hole right there. So this breathable sort of cellophane is what I use to wrap my soaps in. And here it is. Let me see. It has no scent. It just smells very soapy. It's very hard. Definitely has some aged looks to it here. Again, this is a 20-year-old bar of soap. All right, let's do it. I'm going to quit talking. So it feels nice. We're getting lather right away. This is bubbly. So this, let me read the back here, has tallow Tallow, vegetable oil, coconut oil, and castor oil. When I write vegetable oil, I don't know what I was thinking back then. What was that? You know, my labels weren't what they had become. So getting a great lather. Let me set this down now. It lathers immediately. It's beautiful. It just smells real soapy. Look at that. That's gorgeous. 20-year-old soap, you guys. Beautiful lather. I love it. There it is. All right, vintage soap. I've been open about my age. I'm not a young woman. I'm a 58-year-old woman that I have 20-year-old bars of soap hanging around, but there it is. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, this lather's great. I'm gonna go pop this in my shower. I love it. So, to the question, how long does a soap last? I've been asked, what's the shelf life? It lasts forever. They've found 100-year-old bars in France and over in Syria, the Aleppo soaps and stuff. Soap does not go bad. This is fabulous. Yay. All right, Happy New Year.